Hi, welcome to Messier Mantra. I'm your host, Mike Messier. On this episode, we have a very special guest. He's a legendary fight promoter, Mr. Jimmy Burchfield Sr.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me.
It's great to finally meet you because I've been a fan of the fighting game for quite some time. When I moved up to New England, CES was the way to go for fight fans. Tell me a little bit about how you got started, Jimmy.
Actually, I started as a boxing judge, doing local judging in New England, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and then I went on to be an international boxing judge, and I got to travel all over the world. We judged world championship fights in Germany and France and Italy. I really wanted to, because that's where my ancestors were, and I wanted to be, and here I am at one event in Rome at the Coliseum. Wow. And I'm judging a fight, and I'm looking around and I'm saying, wow, I'm getting paid to do something I love.
Right.
But as I traveled, I watched, not being disrespectful to any other promoters, but I watched the way they were promoting events. Some were good, some were bad. There were none that were great.
Right. And
I said, you know, I love the sport. I've done everything in the sport of boxing, from boxing myself to fixing cuts, training fighters, to do just about everything, carrying the water bucket in, running with the fighters, and so forth and so on. I said, you know what, I'm going to relinquish, because it's a conflict of interest, right. I'm going to relinquish my judgeship, and I'm going to stop promoting fights.
Nice.
And that was 20-something years ago.
Yep. And
the first event that we did, I did it at Rocky Point Palladium.
Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't a good experience. We lost $28,000.
Quite a bit of money.
Yeah, and I was wondering if I could get my judgeship back.
Right, right. Let me go back and switch gears.
And then, on the same token, in them days, you can't do the things that were done then. We'd get one or two brokers that would matchmake all the events.
Right.
And the medicals and the regulations weren't like they are in 2016.
Right.
So basically, this guy's bringing me 8 opponents in from New York.
Yep.
All to fight the fighters on the A side.
Right.
They get in a major automobile accident.
The New York fighters on their way to New England.
On the way here to Providence.
Wow.
So 8 of them end up in the hospital.
Oh my!
It's the night before the fight. All right.
Right.
So we talk about scrambling.
Yeah.
And you know, as you in life, no matter what business you're in, you get better and better through knowledge and wisdom.
Right.
And you learn all of these things, and you learn from them mistakes, and consequently now there's rules and regulations, there's medicals, and the benefit of the sport and also of the fighters. They have a federal ID now,
right.
Where before in them days, a fighter would fight in Boston, get knocked out, and then come the following night and fight in Providence.
Wow.
Under a different name.
Wow.
Yeah. So it wasn't safe for the fighter because he got knocked out the night before. So now there's a federal ID, like your driver's license and everything, and it's been a great run. I've just about did everything you could possibly do. Bringing Vinny Paz to his 50th victory.
Yes. Yep.
At Foxwoods Casino. He came, you know, we had about 43 victories, and he said, Jim, there's only one more thing I want to do in my boxing career.
Right.
I want to end with 50 victories.
Yep.
I said, well, you let me steer the ship, you do the fighting, and we'll get there.
Nice.
And we did, and it was great. Although it's a funny story, for the 50th victory at Foxwoods,
right.
We're losing 6 rounds to 0.
Wow.
So as a promoter, I'm not supposed to do what I did. I went in the corner in between rounds, and I grabbed his boxing trunk.
Yep.
And he'll share this story with you. And I said, you told me 50 or death.
Right.
I said, we're dying. We haven't won a round yet.
Right.
So he pulled up his trunks, and he said, uh-oh. And he said that this guy could really hit. He said, "What the hell did you find me here?" So, but he went out and he right after that round,
right,
he knocks him down. We win the fight. And
nice.
He's got his 50th victory.
And he had to fight 2 fights to get the 50th victory. Because I remember he had like a 50th fight attempt to win the 50th, which he didn't quite win. Is that right? Like, the way I remembered, he was going up for the 50th.
We lost one in between.
Right.
Which was before that run. We fought for the WBC world title.
Right.
A fighter from Canada. And we got a pretty good trouncing.
Right.
And that was at Foxwoods also. But no, once we started to go to our 50th, we got there.
Nice.
Yeah.
He got all 50.
Yeah.
And he had 50 wins, I believe 30 by knockout, 10 defeats. So just 60 fights.
But he fought, when you think of it, fighting as a 135-pounder.
Right.
You know, fighting Roy Jones as a heavyweight.
Right.
He never backed down from anyone.
Yep.
And one time I was, you know, we were watching a fight together and a fighter quit on the stool.
Right.
And he just about went crazy. So how could he do that?
Right.
So the run has been where we've got relationships with Sugar Ray Leonard and one of the greatest, Muhammad Ali. They've come to Providence. I brought them up to Lincoln Woods running, and they told me I was crazy because it's a great 2.5-mile run around the water there at Lincoln Woods. And we've been able to meet everyone and have relationships with just about everyone in boxing.
Yes. Let's take a look at some photographs.
Sure.
We're going to have some photographs queued up.
Yeah.
And so there's some fights.
Actually, the guy on the right, he's going to be fighting in Rhode Island October 21st. His name is Chris Chapman. He looks like a little Mike Tyson.
Right.
And he's come here as someone that isn't supposed to win, and he keeps winning.
Right.
The kid on the left is Vladimir Biorsi.
Yep.
He started his career a little late. He came here from Cape Verde, couldn't speak any English, went to Hope High School, one of the toughest high schools, ran track, and then started his boxing career. Went on to URI. Right. Was a starting football player, and he came on very strong, and he's had a couple of losses, but he's a tremendous athlete.
Right. Nice. And we've got, and this is, describe this, because these guys have got the headgear on. So they're amateurs working their way up? How does that work?
Yeah, these are amateurs that are just a step. The kid, Pina, on the left, he turned pro now. But these are the amateurs. This is what boxing's all about. This is where they have to start with the headgears. The gloves are a little bigger. And but we've got some tremendous fighters come out of the ranks as amateurs here in New England.
Right. Okay, let's see what we've got next. Here's an interesting battle.
Yeah. The kid on the right is from Connecticut. This was a great fight. This was a real. They stood in the middle of the ring for eight rounds, and he won by a knockout. The kid in the black there. Yep. That's these are the females. This is good. The girl on the right is a WBC world champion from Rhode Island. This girl that fought her, it was a great fight. You know, a lot of people at the beginning of female boxing, they thought, you know, nobody supported it. Right. We did. Right. And consequently, as time went on, they give a tremendous entertainment. I mean, the problem is it's the inventory in female boxing. It just very seldom you'll find two competitive fighters. Okay. Either one cannot fight, right, and one can fight. But you know, the girl on the right has some Indian blood in her, yep, and she really represents Rhode Island terrific and New England. Nice. See what we got next. Okay, here's what I found was an interesting shot. You got a fighter in the background, but also the belt, one of the championship belts that the fighters defend,
is coming in. So
this is the kid that's going to fight Little Tyson up at Twin River on October 21st, Kerry Gray Pitts, and that's a belt that he won that he'll be defending for this fight with Little Mike Tyson.
And he's got kind of a phantom mask, a red mask.
Yeah, that's like kind of his, you know, this is show business.
Right, right.
This is entertainment. Like Vinny Paz, he started this all off. I mean, a lot of fighters can fight,
right,
but now they got to become marketable, and this is what it's all about.
Right, entertain the people, so to speak. And here's some, they're singing the national anthem, I believe, these two young ladies?
These two young ladies are one of the tribe members from Foxwoods Casino, the Mashantucket Pequot tribe. Joey Carter is a tribal member, and that's how my existence goes back with Foxwoods for all these years. These little girls were 2-3 years old. They're two beautiful daughters of Joey Carter and his lovely wife, and they do a great job singing the national anthem. Yeah,
it looks really good. Yep. So what we got next? Another shot of the female fight.
Yeah, this is that was a great fight, and I think it warrant probably one of the fights of the year actually.
Nice. See what we got next. And a ring card girl. Yep.
Yeah, the ring card. We don't like to call them ring card girls. We like to call them ring card models.
Got it.
They all are college educated. They love the sport. This is why they do it. And again, it's part of our entertaining the fans that come and buy the tickets. You know, it's a night of entertainment. If you've never been at a live boxing event, it's like if you watch baseball.
Right.
And we're going to watch the Red Sox. Or you watch baseball and on TV, but if you're at the park, there's so many different things to see.
And here, the audible
and here,
experience.
I guarantee you, and you know, you've been in live events.
Yes.
That if someone has never been to a live boxing event and they come and sit and see the punches and see the excitement, they're going to be boxing fans for the rest of their life.
Right. What was the favorite fight that you've ever been a part of, either as a judge or a promoter or just as a fan? Because I'm sure you've seen some fights that you're just...
I've seen so many great fights. You know, it was great in the young years where Rhode Island Auditorium on North Main Street was where Rocky Marciano fought one of the greatest fighters ever. I don't know, like, with his size, how he would compare now or compete with heavyweights now that are 6'8", and have these reaches. Like, we were able to represent a fighter from Poland, Maurice Wach. He was 6'9".
Wow.
285 pounds. We put him under the CES banner. And we got him 5 wins. He fought here in Providence a couple of times, in Providence a couple of times. And then we went out and fought Klitschko in Germany with 100,000 people there. We lost a 12-round decision.
Right.
But we, you know, that's what we love to do. We we know how to do this after all this time and all experience and knowledge on how to get a young fighter and bring them up that mountain straight. We can't promise a fighter that you're going to be a world champion.
Right, it's up to them, really.
It's up to them. We can do our job. They got to do their job. We've had a couple of people we brought up that mountain, and then when they got in there, they didn't perform. So they didn't win the world title, but we know how to get there.
Right.
We have the relationships to get there. And consequently, you know, these fighters are important to us. When we signed them, they become part of our family.
Right.
You know, I have 3 great, beautiful sons, but each one of these fighters, I treat them like they're my sons or daughter.
Right.
So we love it. You got to love what you're doing.
Of course.
It's like you love what you're doing here. I can see it.
Yes.
In this great studio and everything, and consequently, that excitement comes out. You know.
Right.
I'm loving what I do, and people say, how long are you going to do this? I'm going to do this till I can't do it anymore because I love every minute of it.
That's great. That's great. What can people look forward to in the end of 2016? We know, was it October 21st?
21st at beautiful Twin River Casino.
Right.
It's an unbelievable show. I think we're exposing the future of boxing.
Right.
We have a young Italian-American fighter right from Providence, Rhode Island. His name is Anthony Marcella Jr. Good-looking kid.
Right.
He's 1-0. Hasn't fought in Rhode Island. This will be his first time fighting in Rhode Island.
Nice.
We've got a couple of Massachusetts fighters that look like the real. You seen the young fighters with the headgears?
Yes.
These were the elite fighters of amateur boxing.
Right.
They just were just a little short on representing us at this last Olympics. There's a kid by the name of Jermaine Ortiz from Worcester. He's a combination of like a Sugar Ray Leonard,
right,
with a Mike Tyson's punch.
Wow, that's a good combination.
Yeah, and then there's in Worcester, Mass. All of a sudden, they have this situation that wherever we travel, wherever we bring our program, we're always told we're the capital of boxing.
Right.
It could be Hartford, Connecticut. It could be Atlantic City.
Right.
It could be Providence, Rhode Island.
Right.
Worcester is showing right now with the talent that's coming out of there.
Yep.
And it's all because they've got some great coaches.
Right.
They've got the Worcester Boys and Girls Club. They've got a couple other boxing gyms. There's this other young fighter by the name of Irving Gonzalez Jr. He's an identical Oscar De La Hoya.
Wow.
He looks like a golden boy.
Wow, that's saying
and
something.
He's 3-0 with 3 knockouts.
Right.
He's fighting a kid from Providence,
Yep.
who again is a killer. He's got a big punch.
Right.
That fight could possibly make the fight of the night.
Nice.
It could steal that. But so what you're going to see, then you're going to see this Kerry Gray Pitts fighting Chris Chapman that you've seen a little picture of.
Yep.
Chris is identical he looks just like a little Mike Tyson.
Wow.
Left-hander.
Yep.
Very awkward to fight.
Right.
Now, Kerry from Worcester, which was Mr. Everything, he came to the big situation.
Right.
Dominated the first round under a major TV network.
Right.
First time all the world seen him. Dominated the first round. Comes out the second round, gets caught, and gets knocked out.
Right, right.
Now he said, I want a tough fight coming back.
Right, right, right.
And that's what he's got.
Well, there you go.
It's probably one of our best shows that we've had in a long time.
Nice.
Because these kids, especially on the undercard,
right,
they're the future of boxing.
That's great. Speaking of which, we're going to have some highlights here from our previous fight. We're going to check that out, and then we'll come back just to wrap up the show, Jimmy.
Sure.
Okay. Right now on Messier Mantra, let's take a look at some highlights from a CES boxing event.
Coming up for the junior middleweight vacant UBF Northeast title, it is Kento Scipio Cook getting ready to take on Kerry Gray Pitts. Scott Ream joining me, and good battle. It should be a good matchup.
I love this fight. This title fight looks like both these guys are ready to come into it tonight. I spoke to them both beforehand. They both seemed focused. They weren't very talkative. They seemed to be more concerned, like their heads were in the game. I didn't want to disturb them too much, and they both seemed extremely, extremely focused. I'm looking forward to it.
And then when you see that focus at the beginning, you got a title on the line. You're in a large arena right now with a chance to make a statement about your career.
Absolutely. When you get a title like this and you literally put this belt under your belt, it's a stepping stone. You're on your way up the ladder, and both fighters want it. Both fighters are very hungry for it tonight.
The belt is on the line. We head to the ring to meet the fighters.
This is the Innovation Fitness co-feature of the evening, and is for the vacant UBF Northeast title. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 153 pounds, with a professional record of 6 wins, 2 losses, and 4 big knockouts. Hailing from Austin, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, Kento Scipio Cook. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 153 pounds, with a perfect professional record of 8 wins, 0 losses, with 6 big knockouts. Hailing from Worcester, Massachusetts, Twin River Casino, Kyrie Two-Shot Gray.
This is the line here now, okay? Remind you, obey, and protect yourself at all times. Let's go.
And we get ready to get underway. Your referee for this one, Eddie Claudio. This one's scheduled for 6 rounds, junior middleweight action for the vacant Universal Boxing Federation Northeast title. Ken Scipio in the blue tricks, getting ready to take on Chiari Gray Pitts. And we can tell you, Worcester is in the house. We've heard a large Worcester contingent making some noise here.
Yeah, a lot of Worcester fighters are on the card tonight, which is great, but Mr. Pitts has a huge following. Big left hand lands early for Mr. Pitts. Looks like we have Mr. Cook's in a little trouble trying to weather this storm.
Cook taking the blows, but still able to stand as Pitts unleashing. Cook coming up from Texas, trying to win a Northeast
Big
title.
right hand by Gray Pitts. You see how calm he is afterwards? He's not jumping right in. He lands those big punches and then he kind of sits back and sees where his opponent's at. Cook still pushing forward. Another right hand lands, wobbles the legs of Cook. Gray Pitts looks like he wants to close the deal in the first round. That's a push.
Expecting any one big blow to end it at any time now, and maybe a good push by Cook there to create some time and some separation.
A couple of deep breaths, absolutely.
Pitts coming out on fire in this one, dominating the early going here in the first round.
Big right hand. That one you can hear across the entire venue. Cook's trying to push back. Those legs are still wobbly. Gray looking to finish this up there. There's your knockdown. Cook's faced out. I don't see him getting up from this one. This looks like Gray Pitts has the title in the first round. Beautiful right hand knockout.
An incredible, professional, absolutely dominating effort by Chiari Gray Pitts, who dominates here in the first round to come away with the TKO, and you can see Worcester loud and proud. A very, very impressive effort.
Absolutely calm, cool, collected. Landed the big shots. Gray Pitts landed those big shots, backed off, was calm, waited. As I said earlier when we started these fights, he was very subdued in the locker room. He was very focused, and you could see that as this very first round took place. He landed those shots. He wasn't over-enthusiastic. He was patient. He landed a couple more big shots. The legs of his opponent, Cook, wobbled. He still was patient, and then he just unloaded right there. 3-4 punches, big right hand to end the night.
And Cook took a lot of shots and kept coming forward, but at some point, he had to pay the cost for that. He tried not to back off. He tried to keep coming forward, but he went right into the lion's den, and the lion roared.
Absolutely correct. No, I couldn't have said it better. You know, great. You can see the emotion on him right now. You have to be very happy for the young man. He's been working very hard. Again, this is a regional title, and this place is on fire. Listen to the crowd.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner in round number 1 by 2 minutes and 2 seconds by knockout, and new UBF Northeast champion, Kyrie Two-Shot Gray. Here to present the title, Anthony Ojeda from UBF.
Well, he was fighting his first 6-round fight, but it didn't even last one, as he has now won his last 6 fights by first-round knockouts. He is absolutely on fire. The highly decorated amateur is making quite a splash in the professional ranks.
Absolutely, he's doing a fantastic job of it. Calm, cool, collected, great corner, great coach.
That kid looks like a star, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you know, he's with the right promotion. Jimmy Burchfield and CES making things happen for the fighters. Don't do the hard work in that ring for him. He's working hard for those fighters.
It was short, but it was certainly sweet for Gray, as he ends up coming up with a victory and gets to wear the title as the champion. He now is the UBF Northeast champion in the junior middleweight class.
Left no doubt.
Welcome back to Messier Mantra. We just saw some highlights from CES Boxing. Back here with Jimmy Burchfield. And Jimmy, you must be so proud of your family. I want to thank Jimmy Burchfield Jr. for kind of getting us in touch for the Messier Mantra. And just everything you're doing with the show, bringing live entertainment to Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts too?
All over.
All over, great.
Yep. Well, let me say this here. This isn't Jimmy Burchfield's show.
Right.
It's the team.
Right.
Starting with my son Jimmy, starting with someone who was in the studio with me and Mickey DeCesare,
Yep.
and Patrick Sullivan, Michael Parenti, Fred Blank. They're the team.
Right.
Without them, we wouldn't have what we have.
Right.
And everyone is talented, Mike. Everyone has a job to do, and they do it damn well.
Nice.
Yeah.
So CES Boxing, classic entertainment sports. We're going to have you on another episode to talk about your sister promotion, the mixed martial arts.
Sure.
So I want to thank you, Jimmy Burchfield, for joining us right here.
Thank you so
Messier
much,
Mantra.
Mike. My pleasure being here.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks for watching this episode of Messier Mantra. We'll see you next time.